Alright people, so I'm here with part 3 of my Q&A. I'm going to answer 10 more questions, and again, if you have any more questions you want to ask me, put them in the comments below and make sure to specify that it is for the Q&A, because a lot of times people just ask me questions that they just want me to answer, but just write that down in there, but just make sure to specify that it's for the Q&A, or if you don't have a YouTube account, then you could hit me up on Twitter at WWE Heel Punk or at Ruthless Ranter. And if you don't have both of those, well then I guess you're shit out of luck. But anyway, let's get to it. Alright, first question here. My favorite UFC fighter. I gotta go with CM Punk, right? I mean, he technically is with the UFC, so I'm gonna go with CM Punk. I'm not a big UFC fan. I'm not I don't watch the I never ordered a pay-per-view. I'm not too into watching it, but it's kind of interesting. But I mean, I'm not gonna pay however much money it costs to buy the pay-per-view. So I'm not a big UFC guy. But since I did watch CM Punk, since I was a CM Punk fan, when he was in WWE, I gotta go with CM Punk. Next one, which Undertaker gimmick is the best? Deadman, American Badass, Big Evil Biker, or Ministry of Darkness? I think the Deadman one is the best. It just feels, the best. It kind of doesn't make sense to me how he was this, the biker. He went from being, this Ministry of Darkness, this, Deadman guy, to being a biker. It kind of didn't make sense. And by the way, these questions, you could ask me anything, politics, sports, entertainment, movies, TV, wrestling, etc., whatever. But yeah, the American Badass and the Big Evil Biker. I mean, it's kind of very different than the Dead Man. So it kind of doesn't make too much sense. But I would rather have him see it as a Dead Man. Next one. What would you rather see, Daniel Bryan versus Bret Hart in his prime, or a Daniel Bryan versus Chris Benoit match if Benoit were still around? I didn't really watch when Bret Hart was around or when Chris Benoit was around, but I think I'd rather see, it's a tough one here. I think I'd rather see Daniel Bryan versus Chris Benoit, because I think they're more of, Chris Benoit is kind of a more, typical Daniel Bryan. He looks more like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan does some of Benoit's moves, so I think I would rather see that. I mean, I would rather see, both of those matches are intriguing, but yeah. I would rather see Bryan versus Benoit. And next one, if you were the owner of WWE, what matches would they be and how would you book them? Well, I would make matches that were actually, more than 5 minutes. I would make matches that actually mean something, and that aren't jobber matches every time. I would do less DQ and fuck finishes, and shit like that. I would book them much like they do in NXT. Like they actually mean something. They're actually, again, long matches, and they're actually fun and entertaining to watch. And there's actually good wrestling. I would actually put good wrestlers together in good matches. So there you go. 25. Do you think it would? This is a long one, so bear with me here. Do you think it will be a good idea to put the mask back on Kane, the old one from '97, and have him be the monster he's supposed to be? Then in June, put the Wyatt family back together, have them jump Kane in July, then, and one night on Raw, Undertaker comes back and helps Kane to set up a 3-on-2 handicap match at SummerSlam. It's an idea, but you don't know how good of shape Undertaker's in, to have that match. And with Undertaker, I feel like he should only be wrestling at WrestleMania from now on, because it's kind of his thing. He's got the streak, or he had the streak. I mean, 22-1 or whatever. So that's what I would rather see. Undertaker just at WrestleMania. So I mean, it's a decent idea, but I'm kind of against it. And with Kane, I feel like he needs to fucking retire, because he's getting old. He's getting, washed up. And I think he needs to retire and give way to the younger talent. Next one here. Who's your favorite wrestler outside of WWE? I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle, even though I haven't watched too many Kurt Angle matches. I mean, he looks like a very good wrestler. So I mean, Kurt Angle seems like the best wrestler that I've seen that's outside of WWE. Next one. Who are your favorite 5 people in the YWC? All right, not in any particular order, but here we go. I like the Brad Rules, Wrestling Jesus, the Solid Monster on the Solid Monster Sounds Off podcast, Sam Roberts, and then Rosenberg. Now, I don't really listen to many people in the YWC that often because, one, I don't like other people to influence my opinion, and also I don't have too much time. So, but I have listened to a lot of these guys before a lot, and they definitely are good people. They give their true opinions, and they are real people for the most part. Will you start to become a Roman Reigns fan if he continues to have good matches like versus Big Show and versus Lesnar? All right, first off, I do not think any of his matches against Big Show were good. All right, they were, for the most part, boring as fuck. I mean, both of those guys are bad wrestlers, and they shouldn't be where they are in this company right now. His one versus Lesnar was better. I think a lot of that is contributed to Lesnar, though. And I've said that Roman Reigns is a better wrestler than he was like 6 months ago. He has incorporated more than 5 moves into his moveset. Now he's started doing some more diverse moves, but he still sucks. All right, so he's not a good. If he starts to have good matches, then I will become a fan of him. I want him to have good matches. That way, the product will be more entertaining. But he doesn't have good matches, so I'm not going to become a fan of his. But yeah, if he has good matches, then I will become a fan of him. Next one, what do you think about sneakerheads and their lifestyle? I already answered that question. Maybe some guy, might have put it on there twice. But yeah, I already answered that question. And last one, will you do your reaction to CM Punk's first fight in the UFC? Probably not, because I'm probably not going to order the pay-per-view, and I'm probably not going to go out of my way to illegally stream it on the internet. So I don't think so. Maybe I'll, give my thoughts about it. I might do that, but I don't think I'm going to actually watch the actual fight. I'm definitely intrigued in CM Punk being in UFC, but I do not think I'm going to go as far as to start ordering UFC pay-per-views. I would watch it if it was free, but I'm not going to throw out 30 or 40 or however many bucks it is to watch a fucking UFC pay-per-view. Not that I'm saying the UFC's bad or anything. I'm just not a fan, and I'm not invested into the product because because WWE takes up too much of my fucking time, and I have to watch their shitty products every week. But anyway, that's a whole different story that I'm not going to get into right now. So there you go, people. There is part 3 of my Q&A.